Hi everyone, and welcome to Tarot for You 444. It's really lovely to have you here with me. Today I want to do a twin flame reading. The energies are a little bit crazy at the moment, so if you're feeling a little bit weird, it's I think it's to do with the 1010 portal that's coming up. So yeah, it's kind of like, you feel great 1 minute and then you feel a bit confused and then you might feel tired and then you might feel, I don't know, kind of all over the shop really. So I'm just wanting to see, how this is affecting what's going on in the 3D physical reality for Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine. So we'll delve into the energy of Divine Masculine first. And then we'll go into Divine Feminine and then back and forth, so that we'll end up getting thinking, feeling and doing. Okay, so we're nearly ready. I've just got a few messages to let you know about before we start. So birds are a theme at the moment, and that can represent communication coming in, can also represent peace, can also represent gossip. The other thing I'm really feeling quite instinctively today is a lot of love songs coming on, those kind of longing ones from the 80s where I want to be with you for the rest of my life, or I can't remember the guy's name, but it's this song and it's called, Nothing's Going to Change My Love for You. I think it's Glenn Medeiros, or I don't know. That's been playing in my mind for a while, and a few Lionel Richie songs. It seems to be sort of like those 80s love songs that, oh yeah, Endless Love is another one that came through. So, even though there's this mixed energy feeling, underneath all of that is still this feeling of love coming in, which is kind of weird because you know how when you're in the weird energy, you sort of want to, I don't know, like just be left alone and maybe go and have a nap, or, do something other than be caught up in the weirdness of the energies. Okay, so the other message that's coming through really strongly is that Divine Masculine in particular, can also be Divine Feminine, but Divine Masculine in particular is getting really frustrated with karmic situations, and whether that's family, friends, partnerships, work, they're wanting to leave those behind. They're realizing that a lot of the relationships they've been in no longer serve them, and it's only a matter of time before they start sort of going, well, yeah, this really isn't for me. So let's start going into what Divine Masculine is thinking. First of all, just give me a moment. Alright, so Divine Masculine wants to make a decision regarding something in his past that's made him feel sad, as if justice hasn't been done. So that could also pertain to getting out of a marriage situation. It could also pertain to something legal going on in his life at the moment. So he's thinking, in the now, that his own toxic behaviour and his sneaky not willingness to travel toward Divine Feminine, he's thinking about that quite a lot. So whether he's come in and been fine and then just, gone off because he's had dramas happening, he's actually thinking about that and thinking, shit, excuse my language, but that's what's coming through in the channeling. He's thinking, Divine Feminine has put up with a lot, actually, because she's come in to me, usually in unconditional love, and I've been toxic in some way, shape or form, whether that's toward her or within his life. It could be involving addiction of some kind, I'm seeing, that has affected him. So drugs, alcohol, sex, porn, it could even be eating. There's lots of different addictions. Okay, so Divine Masculine is thinking that he's kind of like, he's been a bit toxic in the past, or that, his own behaviour, hasn't shown that he's willing to come forward. So that's really interesting. So then, Divine Feminine is seeming to realise this defensiveness that's come about in Divine Masculine. It's like a block that's in her way to the union. And so she's coming through as having given an offer in the past, having said her truth, having, been a little bit shy in saying it, wanting to offer, either money, time, something tangible in the physical world, realizing that, oh my goodness, this is my soulmate, this is my twin flame, he's the one I want to move forward with, my forever person. And so she's thinking about this really strongly. And she's thinking, well, how do I get to this man that's got a wall up or had a wall up in the past? So even if he hasn't got a wall up now, how do I get to him if there's this wall between us? So that's really interesting, because you see, Divine Masculine loves the femininity of Divine Feminine, and yet even when she is feminine, he sometimes still behaves in a way that isn't necessarily understandable from the feminine's point of view, from her perception. Okay, so what Spirit want me to say coming through now is that as a Divine Feminine, if you begin to chase the masculine, he will run the other way, just as if you were in a paddock with a horse and the horse started running away from you because it was like, whoa, hang on a minute, she's gonna catch me and ride me, or what's she gonna do? She's trying to scare me, or so it's that fight or flight response that can occur, and sometimes Divine Masculine will also be defensive. So you could come to him and he might be defensive, which is interesting. All right, so my throat chakra is coming again, because now Divine, because this is what he's actually feeling now. So let's go into that, shall we? He wants to celebrate a passionate new cycle with Divine Feminine. He sees her as his everything. That's what he's feeling. So we're literally getting, he sees her as his queen, as, the one he wants to tell all of his truths to, the one he wants to spend his life with. But there's something, either there's something in the way, like a third party situation, whether that's a marriage or a locality or an age gap, or his toxicity is blocking the union, right? So toxicity can, we've discussed before, that could be addiction, but it could also be that, that he's got a behaviour that he's not willing to change in himself, And so if he can't change it within himself, it blocks the union. It's like if you don't heal your childhood trauma, the cycle can keep coming back all the time. So as an example, women, for some reason, this is coming through, but sometimes that, women who are abused or, molested or raped or any of those horrible things that should never ever happen. But what can happen is that because they are in that toxicity for that time, their brain actually attaches to it and it becomes a part of who they are. And so when they are abused by other people in their life, sometimes they don't see it as a red flag, and sometimes they allow that abuse to continue on. Because really deep within the subconscious mind is where all the scaredness comes about it. But the conscious mind seems to be okay with it. Not okay with what's happened, but it's like has an attachment to it. So it's a very deep, psychological thing. So that when an abused person, suffers any form of abuse, that might, whether it's sexual or verbal or otherwise, they can feel like that they can just that it's their path to tolerate such things. And I want you to understand now that, if that's something that, may have happened to Divine Feminine, I don't know why this is coming up. I think some Divine Feminines may have suffered abuse of some kind. So what I'm saying is that when you heal the trauma, which is a very slow process and can take many years to do, once you heal that trauma, your self-esteem and your self-worth is filled by your own cup. And the longing for someone else to feel that will go away. Slowly, really slowly. And then this is a time when you can surround yourself with friends and really caring people that can support you. So, you might go to the gym with your girlfriend, you might go out for dinner, you might do, certain things, good behaviours to fill your own cup, all right? Because the wound of being abused, the wound of being abused, which I'm feeling coming through very strongly for some Divine Feminines, is so deep that sometimes when they do meet their twin flame, they long for it so much because they've got this wound, and so they kind of chase. And, of course, Divine Masculine mirrors what's happening. So it can either be a mirroring of, the same thing occurring, or it can be a mirroring where, if you're running away from the mirror, they'll also be running away from the mirror. So when you run away from your problems, so do they. So what you don't heal within yourself, then the masculine can't heal either. So not that it's all up to the feminine, it's also up to the Divine Masculine, but usually the Divine Feminine will lead and, understand this concept more readily than the Divine Masculine. So let's see what Divine Feminine, we went off on a bit of a tangent there, I do apologise, but let's just see what Divine Feminine is feeling right now. Because, so instead of moving away, so that was all relevant, because now we're getting, because instead of moving away from her problems, she's coming into her problems and allowing all of that past hurt to come through and be healed. She's allowing herself to feel love, to fill her own cup with love. And this is a really big gift of wisdom. This is a really honest and very devoted, loving and caring thing to do, because when you give yourself love, it also invites the Divine Masculine to do the same. And there was also the saying that, you know, when you fill your own cup and love yourself, then you are capable of loving another too. All right, so it's clear that with the feeling part, you know, there is a possibility that divine feminine and divine masculine can definitely come together in harmony here. But, you know, those wounds still need to be identified and purged as necessary. So it's not like every day, you know, you have to do this healing and purging. But if something's coming, you know, if you get triggered, if you go out and someone, you know, says something nasty to you, just say, or, you know, you feel a certain way emotionally about something, you know, you watch a movie and it's something in the movie could, I don't know, bring up, you know, something emotional in you, then that's, you know, the reason you're feeling any emotion is so that it can be healed. You know, because if something affects you that deeply, then obviously there's a need for healing there. So that's really good. All right, so what's divine masculine doing? Let's go into that. Okay, so right now he is sitting still. He may have not been feeling well very lately. We've got him having a little bit of a pause, so maybe trying to get a bit more rest. But still wanting to take action with divine feminine. So he's still wanting to come in. He's been thinking about what to do actually, like as in if he could offer her something. He wants to give her something, a gift. This might be words, might be, you know, I like this song. It might be, you know, do you want to marry me for some. There's a lot of unions happening at the moment. So the action of divine feminine is not quite as simple. She's has had some sleepless nights recently, and she's been a little bit pissed off recently, actually, because she feels like she's in this lonely, sorrowful place. You know, sometimes waiting for the divine masculine to come in and offer, if he hasn't done so. And even if you're in union, you know, he just might not come in as regularly, or he might not be as open as he used to be. And she's feeling this, and she's feeling this in her heart. And, you know, some divine feminines, you know, have really, really been having trouble sleeping and have been in that place of sorrow. So let's just see what divine masculine wants to say to her from his higher self. All right, so from the aspect of him that, you know, would be in 5D or above, depending on how far he's ascended energetically. So let's just see what he really wants to say, right? We know that in the 3D he's having a bit of a rough time. So we've got, just because I let you go doesn't mean I wanted to. I'm somewhere between giving up and seeing how much more I can take. You are the best thing that happened to me in a long time. Can you forgive me, please? I won't give up on you, so don't give up on me, please. I don't care how hard being together is. Nothing is worse than being apart. You are the glow that lights up my life. So that's the soul, being completely honest, coming through there. So now let's get some messages from divine feminine to divine masculine. See what's going on there. Okay, your beautiful face is always on my mind. Can you forgive me, please? Why can't you tell me what you feel, because how you act is confusing me? Just because I let you go doesn't mean I wanted to. I won't give up on you, so don't give up on me, please. Please understand that I was in pain. I never meant to ruin things. I never meant to ruin us. You are the glow that lights up my life. Right, so that's from soul, from the higher self, I should say, for the oversoul coming through from 5D into the 3D, so that you know those messages. I'll just get 2 messages from Spirit for Divine Masculine, and then 2 for Divine Feminine as well. Okay, that's really good. Okay, so Divine Masculine is being told, yes, they are your twin flame. This is your twin flame. And to listen to the next song. So, on the radio, on the YouTube feed, on Spotify, or wherever the next song might come up randomly. Divine Feminine, he loves you. He, she loves you, because remember, gender isn't an issue. And a reminder to do some deep belly breaths, 5 minutes morning and night, in through the solar plexus and out through the heart chakra, and that will keep the channel open for Divine Masculine. So just as a last note, I wanted to say for Divine Feminine to just keep staying in your feminine energy, be assertive, be that high priestess kind of energy where, you're not, you can still be assertive and get on with your day, but, you leave your heart space open, so that when Divine Masculine does come in, you are kind and considerate and compassionate to what he might be going through. And, as you raise your level of ascension energetically, the Divine Masculine really has no other choice but to meet you there. And if he doesn't choose to meet you there, not everyone chooses the twin flame journey. So, unfortunately, that's also a truth. But I do believe, that there is a lot going on, in the spiritual realm at the moment, and a lot of help coming through. And so I ask you to look for signs, whether you're Divine Masculine or Divine Feminine. Look for signs, whether that be number synchronicities or songs, or, registration plates, or people coming into your life saying things. It might be your mum or a friend or something might say to you, oh, my favourite song is blah, blah, blah. And, that actually could be a message coming through from Spirit or from your higher self to you. So just pay attention to what other people are saying. And lastly, I'm getting really strongly these few synchronicities, maybe they'll resonate with you. So I'm getting trees as a major synchronicity, so something to do with trees. I'm getting roses, pink, white, and red roses. And then I'm getting ladybugs coming through, or ladybirds, some people call them ladybirds. And then I'm also getting a really, really, really strong sense of king and queen energy. So, that royal type, I don't know. So the words king and queen are coming to me. The words daddy is coming in. And also the word joggers. I don't know. This is just coming in from Spirit. So let me just see if I can tap in and tune in a little bit more for you. Something to do with running in the park. I can see, like someone jogging in the park, or along you know, a lake where there are swans or ducks. That's coming in really strongly. I'm getting pizza is coming in really strongly, and camping as well is coming in strongly. The name Jenny is coming strongly. I quite often get that name Jenny, so I don't know if one of you Divine Feminines is called Jenny. And then I'm getting the letter B and the letter L and the letter J. So J is probably for Jenny again, but could be for something else as well. The other thing last thing that's coming through is water signs really strongly. You know, that water emotional kind of strength coming through, but in emotion. So that loving sense of, you know, the whole love song thing, the whole I want to spill my emotions, the whole, you know, I don't know, it's like when you see a puppy for the first time, you know, when you're a kid and you just want to cry because it's just the cutest thing you've ever seen, that kind of energy, that real, you know, loving, doting, I don't know, it's really strong. I think that's all. Crystals, that's coming through to the name crystal and also crystals. So gold and citrine would be two other things coming through. And engagement ring, that's a good one. Engagement ring is also coming through. So I hope some of those messages resonate with you. Keep going, keep purging, keep healing, keep you know, making sure that you take care of yourselves. And if you need me for, you know, a reading or ascension package or even one-on-one coaching, I can also offer that too. If you want to speak to me, you know, like over the phone, and talk to me about what's going on, and then we can delve in and I can try and help you with your situation, if you feel guided to do that. So yeah, oh, last thing, that's right, yes, okay, one of my clients just recently, you know, we saw that, you know, he hadn't met his twin flame actually, but he could feel, you know, this energy of it coming in, and then, you know, we sort of saw that it would perhaps come in the fall, and because the client's in America, you know, it's fall there now. So yeah, so he actually met her and they are, you know, madly in love, kind of, you know, really happy, thinking of engagement, thinking of, you know, the whole, you know, being together forever stuff. So that's really, really positive news. And I just wanted to share that with you. So you can either cry over it or laugh and go, yes, that's happening to me too. So it's different for everyone, I know, and everyone's on a different level of their journey. But thank you so much for being with me, and I love you all. I'm sending you much peace, love and light this day, and just remember, in case no one told you today, that you are the most beautiful thing on the whole of the earth, and I wish you so much love. And I'm really grateful that you're here to spend this time with me. Okay, bye.